Hey everyone, how's it going? MichaelGmur here, and today we are going to roast some nuts, almonds to be more specific, and then we're going to make almond butter because even though this is a very simple process, it can be a little daunting, especially if you're not super comfortable in the kitchen. I know my first time roasting nuts, and sorry, there's still a little boy trapped inside me anyways. I remember my first time roasting nuts. It was kind of daunting because you're like, well, what if I roast them too long, or what if I roast them too long, or I didn't roast them long enough, and how do I make the almond butter? How do I know when it's done? And so today we're gonna squash all those fears that you've had for years and years, and just all those things that have just kept you from making almond butter in your very own kitchen. So, few things. One, these almonds are from Costco because it's $12.50 for 3 pounds, which is even better than Trader Joe's. But Trader Joe's is still second best for almonds because they're $5 a pound. So what I've done here, real quick, is I've taken about a pound of almonds, which is roughly 3 cups. So, tools we're gonna need today. Food processor. This is a KitchenAid. This one's several years old, but it works great. And then we've got a couple of jars, just jars from a local cafe. I think these had like pudding or something in them. Just save them and reuse them. And then we've got our rubber spatula. I hope that you went and got yourself a rubber spatula if you were making the almond bread, the Whole30 almond bread. I hope you went and got yourself a spatula because it's super helpful, especially with the food processor. And then a cookie sheet. This one is 15 inches by 10. You can use a bigger one, you can use a smaller one, whatever floats your boat. But today we're using 15 by 10. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna take our 1 pound or 3 cups of almonds and we're gonna put them on the cookie sheet. Now, right now, they're all in a pile. What we wanna do when we're roasting nuts is we wanna make sure they're nice and flat and not on top of each other. And you're pretty much gonna fill up this whole cookie sheet until they're all flat and happy in there. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go put it in the oven at 420 degrees for about 15 minutes. That's about how long you wanna do almonds, somewhere between, my sister does 12, I prefer 15. Maybe you're crazy and you like to do 13, I don't know, but I definitely wouldn't go more than 15. That's kind of the limit. So I'm gonna go throw these in, we're gonna set a timer, I'll be right back. All right, we've got our almonds. I actually let them cool for a little while, so don't really need the glove, just kind of threw it on because who doesn't like a little bit of flair or costumes or whatever, you get it. Anyways, they're pretty warm right now, I can touch them. Probably can't hear that, but they are crackling and popping. It sounds really cool. They also smell delicious when they've been in the oven this long. And don't eat them when they're super hot, but when they're just a little warm. They're so good. They are so good. You need to have some roasted almonds in your life. So now we've got our roasted almonds. We're gonna take all 3 cups. And maybe we won't do all 3 cups. We'll see how much this food processor can handle. Maybe we'll just do about 2 cups. Alright. If you whistle while you work, it makes work that much better. So we're not going to do the full pound because I want to do a little bit more. You don't want to go above the little doohickey that has the blade in there. Oh, also when you're using your food processor, a couple things. One, probably shouldn't have done that because it's going to make it a pain in the butt. But anyways, you got your cup, right? You're going to put that down in there. You're going to lock it in place. All food processors are a little different. They weren't all created the same way. Then you've got your blade. Now this part you normally want to have on before you put anything in. We're just going to go ahead and stuff it down in there. Now most food processors, in fact, I don't know of any food processors, maybe like a super old one, but I used one recently that was super old and it still wouldn't work with the basically they'll have safety features. I don't know what that was all about. They all have safety features, so you shouldn't really worry about them turning on with your hand in there, but always, you know, be safe. Don't be a fool in the kitchen. It's fun, it's fantastic. Don't bleed all over the place and ruin the food. Nobody likes that. So we've got our lid on there, or we've got our bowl on there, we've got our blade in, we've got our almonds in. We're gonna lock that into place. We're just gonna keep our stopper in there. There's no need to add anything through here, take it out or whatever. Now, I don't put any salt in my almond butter, but if you do, then if you want to have a little bit of salt, if you like that flavor, then I would say add like a half a teaspoon to maybe a teaspoon of some finely ground sea salt. You know, make sure, again, iodized. If you're using iodized, make sure you use way less because it'll be super salty. But I would say finely ground half a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon of sea salt, but I would start with half and then go from there. Remember, you're in the kitchen. Do everything to taste. Follow your taste buds so they won't lead you wrong, all right? Anyways, now it's gonna get really loud. Ready? I'm trying here. Alexa, play Britney Spears. Alright, so I may put a few too many almonds in there, but what we're gonna do now is it's probably tough to see, so let me take this off. Come on. So you can see in there, you can see that it's all been ground. You can see them all nice and roasted and brown. That's a great color. Means we roasted them long enough, but not too long. But what's happening now is it's getting all caught up on the side, so we want to take our spatula. Everyone say that with me. Spatula. And then we're gonna scrape it up here. You can see it's starting to get a little clumpy, but it's not quite, it's in a weird phase. It's between like an almond meal and almond butter. It's not really either right now. It's just kind of in the middle, just floating. It's not really sure where it is, who it is, where it belongs in the world. Just lonely and drifting. It's really depressing for almond butter. Anyways, we're gonna keep going here. Just get that nice and broken down on the sides. Push down on our top. There we go. Locked in. Locked, cocked, and ready to rock. And here we go again. So we shouldn't have to turn it off again, at least I'm hoping not. Basically what you're gonna do with your food processor is you're just gonna keep it on, and eventually it will grind this down to butter. It takes, I don't know, it takes a while.
Alexa, play more Britney Spears.
So you can see, real quick, see how it's starting to get that almond buttery goodness and it's starting to get all clumped up. Now, you could probably stop here and be like, I'm gonna have some super chunky, interesting choice almond butter. We're not doing that. What we're gonna do is we are gonna keep going, and you're gonna see this stuff turn into like actual butter. It's gonna be nice and gooey and looking delicious. And it's gonna taste so good.
Alexa, continue playing.
Never had a single dance lesson. Hard to believe. I know. Alexa, stop. As much as I love you, Brittany. So it's probably, maybe if I turn it, you can see that the almond butter is starting to spin. Well, probably shouldn't do that too long. Don't worry, soon I'm gonna upgrade. I'll have a camera from the top so you can see all of the magic that's happening on this table. It's very exciting. I can tell that you're all just as excited as I am. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shouldn't have. But basically what's happening is you'll see a ball of almond butter spinning around, and once that ball is no longer a ball and it's just this gooey, ooey deliciousness of almond butter spinning around and around and around and around and around, that's how you know you've got the right consistency, and you can take it out and you can put it in. You don't need to add oil, you don't need to add anything, you just have to have almonds, and it is so good. Best almond butter you've ever had. Might take you a second to get used to having almond butter without any sugar added, because there is sugar and almond butter and peanut butter and all that stuff, which is like, well, sugar's in everything. OMG, knock it off, CNH. Had enough. Corn syrup, ooh, don't get me started. And now it just looks like a stream of almond butter. There's no ball, it's just nice and ooey gooey, just waiting to be eaten. So, we're gonna turn that off. You can see inside here. Once I can figure out how to get this off, I swear I know what I'm doing. You can just see how much that's just like, see how gooey that is? Oh, so good. Now there's a couple specks on the side. Don't worry about it. You don't need to scrape it again, unless you really feel like you have to, you know, do you. But I don't, because I like a little bit of crunch. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these blades out. Ooh, look at that. It just drips off. That is how you know you are successful, no? Yes, is good. And take that, just spoon it in here. Normally, I like to use organic products whenever possible. Oh, hi neighbor. I can hear you stomping around. As they get up at like midnight and start scurrying. I don't know what they're scurrying from. Maybe the apartment above us is haunted. Anyways, normally I like to buy almonds. I like to buy all organic things, but for some reason, with almond butter, when I'm making it myself, maybe it's because I'm making it myself because it's less expensive, I don't buy organic almonds. I just buy regular almonds, and they do the job. I will say I do like organic because I know it doesn't have any, one, I know it's being grown, there's a higher likelihood of it being grown a little more ethically, nicer on the, kinder to the environment, and two, I know that it doesn't have any weird stuff in it, you know, any weird poisons used to grow it. So these almonds probably have a little bit of poison, but it's a small price to pay for deliciousness, if you ask me. So we're gonna get this all scooped in. It looks like we're gonna be able to get it all into one jar. All into one jar right there. The jar holds a lot more than I thought. Anyways, here's that. We're not gonna be able to get it into one jar. I spoke too soon. Never done that before. And then I know this isn't how you should do it at home if you're serving this to other people, but since I'm pretty much the only person who's eating this, I just go ahead and use my fingers and I'll scrape the side of the jar like that. And then I'll look at, because like I said, I'm pretty much the only person who eats this. So, you do you. Anyways, we're gonna put the rest of this in jar number 2, which is only gonna be like a couple spoonfuls, but still, We want to have all of our deliciousness. So, I'm gonna have one more little. So good, so easy to make. Like you saw, 3 cups of almonds, put them on a 10 by 15 cookie sheet, put them in the oven at 420 degrees for about 15 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes. Throw most of it in the food processor, let it go until it's nice and creamy, and then you got almond butter, people. Thanks for watching. Once again, my name is MichaelGmur. Go ahead and subscribe. We're gonna do some cashew butter, and I'm also gonna make some cashew butter treats. I know I said I was gonna make some dessert this time, but oops. Hope you enjoyed the Britney Spears. Subscribe and all that good stuff. Peace out. On Your Gangster. Bye-bye.